All right, on the show, we always invite you guys to go over to our website, check out the articles, and of course, there's always something you can do over there, which is called the mailbag. So I invite you guys to leave your comments in the mailbag, leave your questions in the mailbag, and we'll do our best to answer those questions on this show. Now, before we go any further, I do want to remind you that our show is powered by and sponsored by our friends over at Sports Trading Systems. It's sportstradingsystems.com. You can go over there today and you can learn how to use back-tested algorithms and information and lots of good stuff over there. Go over and learn how to use the data that the sports trading system has harvested and learn how to trade sports like other people trade stocks. It's an investment system like none other on the planet Earth. It's making tons of people tons of money. Go over to Sports Trading Systems today and check out what they have to offer. Now, let's jump into what we're talking about. I was talking about the mailbag. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to dive right in, and I'm going to answer all of your questions. If you'd like to leave a question for us, go over to whatsonsports.com, look for the mailbag, and leave a question for the show today. First question. It was reported that some Eagles players were upset with head coach Doug Peterson when they pulled out Jalen Hurts against Washington. Can the relationship between the coach and his players be repaired? So listen, I've read a couple different things. One of the things that I read that has been corroborated by some of the NFL insiders is that some of the players were so angry that they wanted to physically confront Peterson. Now, anytime you get a player angry enough that he wants to go over and get in the face of a coach, possibly put his hands on a coach, it's going to be tough to win the confidence of that player back. One of the things that a player needs to know, one of the things that anybody needs to know when they deal with their boss is that the boss is going to be honest with them. So, for example, if I have an employee and I don't think the employee is doing a good job, I will tell the employee along the way the things the employee needs to improve on. The employee can't act surprised if he sees later on that I wrote in a report that I was saying that he wasn't doing things the way he should be doing them, because I told the employee along the way that some of the things that he was doing were not up to par, and some of the things that he needed to learn, he wasn't learning. So if somebody sees me write it down, they'll know that I was honest with them in the beginning, and the reaction should be a professional one. The same thing happens on an NFL football team. If a coach tells you, we're going to try to win this game, and then pulls out their starting quarterback, who's been playing pretty well throughout the year, and puts in the third string guy because he says, well, he worked hard this year and he should get some reps. The team was upset, obviously upset, and deservedly upset. So can they repair this? I don't know. I don't know if that's possible to repair a relationship like this. I wish him well, though. I've had situations where people have thought that I lied to them or was dishonest with them, and it was hard to repair those relationships. Let's go to our next question. Do you think Matthew Stafford has played his last game in Detroit? If yes, where do you think he will play next season? I don't know that Detroit has a better opportunity right now than to play Matthew Stafford. Stafford most likely owns a home there. Stafford most likely has spent the last 10 years of his life there. That is home to him. It's not easy to pick up and leave, even though the Detroit Lions have zero chance of winning a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. And you could write that down. Stafford would probably only leave if given an opportunity to join a contender. So let's say Indianapolis is looking for a quarterback and Stafford fits in. He may go there. Let's say Drew Brees retires and the Saints decide, hey, we'd love to have you down here. He may go there. He may take an opportunity with Bill Belichick if it's offered, but I don't think it will be. So will Matt Stafford stay in Detroit? I think right now it's 50-50. I think the choice will be Stafford's at the end, and I think it'll be very tough for Stafford to take his wife and his family and move them anywhere if they're comfortable inside the city of Detroit. It's not easy to sell an $8 million home or however expensive his home is in a market like this right now. So I don't necessarily think it's as easy as people think it is, thinking he's just going to go and that's it. You just don't know. There are a lot of factors in place. Again, let's take it out of football and bring it into real life. How easy would it be for me to leave my life where I am right now because someone else offered me a job that paid me more money than this one or the same amount as this one? I don't think I would do it. I don't think I would take the opportunity unless it was one that could maybe put a ring on my finger, and then it's something we could talk about. Last question coming out of our mailbag. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are an appealing dark horse in the NFC. Do you think they will be the first team to play a Super Bowl in their home turf? The opportunities are there. Tampa has looked incredibly well over the last 3 weeks of the season. The offense is really, really clicking. The defense is fast. They get to the quarterback. They blitz the heck out of quarterbacks and rattle people. Their secondary is not bad. They've got an experienced coach. Do they have a chance? Yes, they do. But I think their biggest obstacle right now is in the first round. If Alex Smith plays, and I've said this earlier in the show, if Alex Smith plays and for the Washington football team, that is going to be a tough out for them. If they can make it through Washington and not take a brutal beating from that pass rush and go on to round 2, Tampa Bay could be a very, very scary team. For me, I look at that team and I think it's all about confidence. That team has to get their confidence, has to get their sea legs underneath them. And if they can do it with, like, let's just say a really convincing win against Washington, then I think that a lot of people are going to be really, really worried about Tampa. And there's 2 words that make you worry more than anything else. Tom Brady. Because that guy's a winner. That makes people afraid. That was the mailbag. Thank you so much for joining us today on the What's on Sports podcast. My name is John Tedora, promising to bring you some of the best in sports podcast content. And I'm going to make another promise to you. If you listen to the show on Friday, we'll be giving away free picks for the weekend. Free picks for the weekend. We have had an amazing season guiding people to make a lot of money. Stick around for Friday's show. It's going to be great. Coming at you live, 10:30, Facebook, YouTube, or downloaded on your favorite podcast platforms. It's whatsonsports.com. I'm out of here.